But again, that would not be, because the man who was really my mentor knew about me all along, and that was Zhou Enlai. Why? Because Zhou Enlai and my eldest brother were old friends. And before that, my eldest brother was a half-brother. So, and his mother was born the same day and year and month as my mother. But they call each other mother and son, or the same. But that eldest brother had been to the United States many times, and he encouraged us whether to go to the United States and get a real good education amongst you good people. And that is why the whole nation, the whole family, then decided to move across the Pacific Ocean and come to this good country. And the very moment that we arrived in New York, as I said, we were so warmly treated. But when we did arrive, while I was happy, I nevertheless was still a thoroughly spoiled little brat, considering me to be the center of the earth, wherever I might be. Because that was the way my family treated me, and since I was the youngest in the family, so the family treated me very well. When I came to the States, all you good Americans treated me well because I looked so small and fragile. And so the very first day I arrived, you good people wanted to make me feel immediately at home, not knowing what we Chinese really liked. They only knew that, well, Chinese eat rice, so let's give him a nice big bowl of rice. And when they produced me with that big bowl of rice, I looked at it with disgust, pushed it around, and screamed at the top of my voice in Chinese, of course, saying, 我们中国人从来不吃米饭. We Chinese never eat rice. And they were flabbergasted. They didn't know what to do. They gave me some potatoes. Well, I thought potatoes is okay. So I had some potatoes. But afterwards, my English improved very quickly. And then I began to make real good friends. And those good friends from my very young days have lasted right down to this present day. Even today, I have these wonderful friends, at least 5 or 6 of them, starting from primary school, through high school, and through college. However, in spite of this, of my love of my new country, of my love of my good friends here, I still always had the strong feeling, again, I would say maybe of arrogance, because I always thought myself to be the best throughout the world, and I'm a Chinese, and therefore China is the best country in the world, and therefore I must go back to China. But I wanted to finish my education first. Most unfortunately, that horrible Korean War broke out, and our 2 countries took sides. And so I then decided on the spur of the moment, I'm giving up everything here. I'm going back to China to fight my good friends, the Americans. And that's what I did. But happily, I did not fire a single shot. I did go to Korea, but just to take down notes. And because I learned so much good shorthand here in the United States, I became the #1 stenographer of the People's Republic of China. And so after that, then I came back to China, and Zhou Enlai knew about me through my eldest brother, and he said, well, this little boy quite obviously is a good grasp of the English language, and it seems that his Chinese is also getting along, so let me try him out as a good English interpreter. And that he did, and he found me to be very good. And me being quite arrogant from the very young days, I immediately thought that, well, look, it ain't so difficult to interpret for the Prime Minister, a piece of cake. But, well, it wasn't really that much a piece of cake. Because the Premier then started to feel that I was a good translator, so he might be able to add some words here or there, or change some words, because his speeches were all written for him, but then he felt it would be sometimes useful to see something else that he should say. He would say something else. And that's what he did. But I was still in my pink clouds. In fact, actually feeling that I myself had become the prime minister. Because he would say a word, and I would say a word, and he would say another, and I would say another word, and everyone was looking at me as well as the prime minister. But the premier then noted that in his written statement, there was lacking a reference to another senior official amongst the noble guests. So the premier then added a sentence of welcome and friendship to this second in command who came also to the banquet. But I was floating on pink clouds. I just remembered what was written down, but not what the premier had added. And so I went on. The premier then realized that I wasn't as smart as I looked. And the premier immediately said, give me a new interpreter. This young one is too tense and tight. Let him go. So immediately I was thrown from the first table to the last table. And then but then the premier wanted to test me out again. And this time I was told, now you listen carefully and don't make another stupid mistake. Unfortunately, I then was still rather dizzy when I stood up there like this, and again made a stupid mistake, whereby the premier just told me to change, but then went on. But and I seemed to be okay. I seemed to have solved all the problems, but that wasn't the case, because I did not really speak the truth, nothing but the truth. And the premier then at a meeting at the foreign ministry, he declared, without naming any names, said that what an official of the People's Republic of China must always remember is never, never tell a lie. Because if you do tell a lie, to put it mildly, you might just destroy your good work and be kicked out. But that is not the most terrible thing. You could even bring harm to the country, because you could create a major misunderstanding with our foreign friends. He didn't mention me by name, but I knew who he was saying. And so from that time onwards, I vowed never, never again the rest of my life would I ever tell a single lie. And I really have followed that right down to the present day. And that was also, to a certain extent, why my dear wife came to love me. Because she and I came to know each other, but not so well, and I was always rather shy. And then one day, while we were both going to French class, I was there first, and she came a little bit later, and it was snowing, and she was running, and she slipped and fell, and I rushed over to pick her up, and then before I could pick her up, she had already stood up and gave me the sweetest possible smile. And so after that study of French, I asked her, how about going out and have a nice little meal? And she rather shyly agreed, and so we had a wonderful meal. And from that time onward, we became really very, very good friends. And from friends, I asked for her hand in marriage, and she agreed. And that was the most wonderful day I've throughout my life. And from that time onwards, down to this very day, we two have been in love with each other. And never, never for one single moment have we ever had any quarrels. There's no possibility of any quarrels, because we agree on everything. And if there is a slight disagreement here or there, of course, the wife is always right. I mean, you all know that.